Every year, the country waits to find out who was the best person of the year. And they're going to find out next week on the Turks and Jerks of the Year here on TYT Network. But we have a little appetizer for them, and that's the Time Person of the Year, who was revealed to be two persons, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. And my response is, Brett, what do you think?
Well, if we show that again, this is a big reveal. I don't know if you guys can tell. Well, you probably can't because it's not from the front, but they've actually been surgically joined together.
Oh my God.
So it is one person. Like it's not, everyone's like, oh, that's two people. No, they're one person now. And
why don't people get that?
And just for the scientific marvel that it truly is, you should be on your knees thanking science for making this possible.
Well, look, Zolan, before we give more of a response, understand that the short list apparently included President Donald Trump, Dr. Anthony Fauci, who got Defender of the Year, and healthcare workers, so they were lumped together, and then racial justice organizers protesting the death of George Floyd. So many people have said that they believe the only reason Donald Trump is on that list is so that Trump and Trump fans would pay attention to the result, because otherwise, this is a year where he presided over the pandemic. And by the way, he was impeached. Like people forget that. He was impeached this year. Why would he be the person of the year this year of all years? What legitimate reason is there?
They just go for, this is word cloud of the year. And they just go like, what are the biggest names? And yes, and obviously they had it was gonna be those names that you mentioned. I don't think it was going to be Fauci, but there was very likely, I think, healthcare workers battling the coronavirus pandemic, and and this is how producing happens. Like for stuff like this, year-end lists, like I've done many and lists. You go, okay, what we're going to do the leaders of each type of person of the year, and then we'll pick the one that should win out. And I'm sure it went like, do we do the thing where it's like the overlooked person that we really need to value when we don't? Then they say, and so that's healthcare workers. And then it goes, what about the biggest turd of the year that everyone can't help but talk about? And then they say, when did we most recently do a turd-like person? If it's too soon to do another, we're not doing that. And then they say, what do we want? And then is it Kamala Harris because she's the first woman and woman of color to be vice president? Or is it Joe Biden who beat the turd of the year? Well, what if we do both of them because we're doing a compromise here that'll end up really meaning nothing? But I think when you take a step back, you can look at it and say, all right, these two people represent a referendum not to have a turd anymore. And really, that's all you can declare as a result of this weird election, and that's what they did. And it's one of those things that makes so much sense in a writer's room that still makes no sense unless you can have the writer's room there to explain it to you.
Yeah, I get. Yeah, and it's safe, I guess. I don't know. It just sure it is a rejection of Trump, which is good, and Kamala Harris brings the sort of historical part of it, which is fine. And so I definitely think if you're gonna do Biden, some people are like, why are you doing two people? But I think no, I think if you're gonna do Biden, I think you have to do Biden and Harris. But I would ask, with the finalists we talked about, what percentage of Biden-Harris voters would have chosen Biden and Harris? Like I feel like a lot of them would have chosen Fauci. A lot others would have chosen racial justice organizers. Just like the year wasn't about Biden. It really wasn't. Like, yes, it's a rejection of Trump, but that's not what the experience should be remembered for.
But John, you're describing all different kinds of people, and the only thing that could bring them together was Biden. Either eagerly or maybe. Like hands up, I get it, I have to. And that's something that is so difficult to characterize in a history book. But maybe this will do it. Like people are gonna, I mean, for me,
like the person who invented the vaccine. How about that? That's what
I know. I thought about that while you were talking. That's crazy. But no, because no one has an experience with that yet. So it's not.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe that'll be next year.
No, next year it'll be something wild.
Let me like really quick, just out of curiosity, because there's a very important question of how much does this actually matter. Who was last year's person of the year?
Last year's person of the year was Ken from Pasadena. I think Ken. He runs. I think it was Ken. Last year's person.
No, he was a finalist. He was a finalist. He wasn't the person of the year. Who was the person of the year?
It was Mueller. I don't know.
No, Mueller has never been person of the year. That's interesting. I might.
Greta Thunberg.
Yes. Yeah. Did you look it up?
No.
You saw it in the chat. Okay, yes, it was Greta. I only remember that because Trump was mad. But
I've never been more angry with you. I have never been more angry with you.
What? Because I accused you of getting the information from Twitch?
Yes. I have never been.
You know what's funny? So just really fast. So Greta Thunberg released a speech to commemorate the 5th year of the Paris Climate Accords and how basically nothing has been done. And so because she's from another country, like there's a spectrum of how people pronounce her name. Like, and as you get to know her a little bit more, maybe you put like a little bit more of an attempt on pronunciation for it. But I listened to that speech and she introduced herself and I thought, man, I'm still not even close. I got like multiple syllables that aren't even in there yet.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's complicated.
Is it different from what I said?
What did you say?
Thunberg?
Yeah, I know, it's different. It's different. We'll play the video together later.
We had a.
Give it to her. Give it to her again. Anyway,
yeah, I'm so mad you think I cheated because I was like, oh, that's right. Trump threw a fit, and I remember the photo where she's like,
okay, I'm gonna have to have your wife confirm. She's in the room with you, right?
She trusts me, so I guess.
For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/thedamagereport. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.